Hi, I'm Morgan.
I'm Linda.
And I'm Letitia, and we are with Brigham Young University in the Social Work Master's Program. We want to recognize our colleague Yi, who was not able to be here today for filming.
We were asked to organize a project that would benefit our community in some way. We recognize how important the skill of self-regulation is in life. Self-regulation is a learned skill that we can begin to acquire when we are very young. We thought it would be beneficial to incorporate self-regulation techniques into the classroom and into your homes to help children learn how to control themselves. We hope this video and these techniques are helpful both in your home and in your classes. Our aim is to help alleviate added stress that comes when children are dysregulated and teach our children how to regain their composure.
We've created 2 videos, one for the children and this video for parents and teachers. We invite you to watch the video of ideas on how to work with your children. For other ideas, we will be providing parents and teachers with a handout of self-regulation techniques you can use in your home or in your classroom. These ideas came from 3 books and from Tiffany Statham, a licensed clinical social worker.
In the first video, we taught the students about how the brain functions under stress. With the children, we described 3 different areas of the brain: the brainstem, the limbic system, and the prefrontal lobe. The brainstem acts as a messaging system where the brain can send messages to the body and vice versa. The limbic system controls our emotions and arousal responses, such as rapid heart rate, heavy breathing, and fight, flight, and freeze responses in moments of stress or danger. The prefrontal lobe is the area of higher processing like planning, decision-making, and social interactions. During times of stress, our prefrontal lobe goes offline and the limbic system kicks in. When this happens, children are in more of a survival mode, unable to make decisions or think clearly.
We used our hand to demonstrate this process to the students. Our wrist represented the brainstem, our thumb represented the limbic system, and our fingers represented the prefrontal lobe. When a child perceives stress, anxiety, or danger, it's like flipping a switch and turning off the prefrontal lobe, giving the limbic system control. Without the prefrontal lobe working, a child is unable to think and reason. We are now in a mode of dysregulation or survival. One of the key ways for children to regulate is to watch for warning signs that they are becoming dysregulated. Warning signs that a child is getting into this point are becoming anxious, fidgety, being withdrawn, acting aggressively, and being irritable. Once a child is beginning to flip their lid, the trick is to get that child engaged. Re-engage those frontal lobes so that they can think and reason once again.
In the children's video, we introduced 3 areas that help with self-regulating, or getting the prefrontal cortex back online: meditation, breathing, and mindfulness. We invite you to watch the first video where the children demonstrate how to use a few of these techniques. For you, we will help to describe what each regulation technique does. Meditation helps calm the brain and the body down. Deep breathing and specific breathing techniques can help kick in our parasympathetic nervous system, which calms the body down in times of stress. Mindfulness helps us reconnect to our environment and our body, keeping us present and focused. We would like to offer you some helpful tips for how to incorporate these techniques.
First of all, teach children using this video or other resources what dysregulation looks like. Help them understand right from the start what it means to be able to self-regulate. Use regulation as a constant part of your classroom management.
Maybe you want to put a thermometer, something like this, in your classroom, like a thermometer to watch for signs for dysregulation. If you notice a child beginning to become dysregulated, help the child or class regulate as soon as possible to avoid that flipping their lid, including tantrums, aggressiveness, and shutting down completely.
We would also suggest using a regulation tool at the beginning and end of every class activity or during transitions. Regulating a child helps them to think and focus. They will be more ready for work if you can begin with getting them focused. Following through at the end of math or English helps them to see that we are ready to transition to a new subject. Using a variety of ideas from the breathing, meditation, and mindfulness areas.
Regulating is especially helpful after recess. Outdoor exercises and movement are powerful regulating tools. However, to get a child back on track for learning, try a breathing technique or a mindfulness activity that brings them back to the present.
Another tip for classroom is that if someone in the class is dysregulated, do not point out one class member. If possible, have the entire class do a regulation technique together.
Use soothing, quiet music without lyrics as a backdrop during study time.
Maybe you would want to have a class regulation kit in the front of the classroom. Fill this box with things children can use at their desks to self-regulate. Things like stuffed animals, sequin pillows, smelly chapstick, squeeze balls, or marble tunnels are great ideas. Teach the kids that when they are feeling dysregulated, they are free to quietly walk to the front of the room to get a regulation tool and sit back at their desk. These items are not to remain in their desk and must be turned in at the end of each day so everyone can use it. If you use this technique, make sure you include items in your kit that you can deal with as a teacher. Don't put noisy fidget toys in it if it is not something you and other class members can tolerate. Make sure the toys are easy to clean and return each night.
We also ask you to recognize the power of touch. A soft hand on a child's shoulder could actually be all they need to regulate. Always remember that there's power in eye contact. We all need to be recognized and constantly attuned to one another. It may also be beneficial to teach a child emotions using an emotion wheel or emoji faces. Help a child to identify what they're feeling and how they can adequately cope so that they can help themselves.
Many children in your classroom may be set up on an IEP or a 504. It may be beneficial to set up the requirements for behavior around the students who have these accommodations. Look through their files and see if you can set your class up according to the 504 requirements.
In our video, we created a class cheer. I'm a kid and I'm great because I know how to regulate. When you see the class getting out of control, saying this cheer and having the children repeat it may be a way to get back on track. Follow the cheer with a mindfulness technique or maybe a breathing technique. To the teachers, we'll be providing you with a poster of ideas that can help the children in your classroom. Please feel free to use this as a class bulletin board so children can always see ways that they can regulate themselves. We hope that these ideas may give you some ways that you can help you and your children as you look for ways to teach children self-control. Kids, can we say it? I'm a kid and I'm great because